Amazon says it's laying off more than 18,000 workers as part of a staff reduction that started in November. The layoffs will mostly impact Amazon's brick and mortar stores and human resources division. Amazon says that the move will help the company pursue long-term opportunities with a stronger cost structure. It comes amid mounting layoffs in the tech industry.
Now, all this comes as weekly jobless claims fell to the lowest level in 3 months. Today's report seems to indicate some type of resilience in the labor market, which is positive, despite efforts by the Fed, though, to cool the economy. Take a look at this. The labor... Sorry, Lana,
well,
maybe you want to show it to us.
You know, why don't we all take a look at this? The Labor Department reports 204,000 new filings in the past week. That is a decrease of 19,000 from the week before and only slightly below the pre-pandemic weekly average of 218,000.
Let's bring in Gregory Daco and take a look at this as well. He's the chief economist at EY-Parthenon. Gregory, want to hear about unemployment numbers moving down? This sounds encouraging and positive, but perhaps not for economists. The Federal Reserve, saying that they need to put pressure on the labor market in order to ease higher prices. So can you just explain for us how we should be interpreting this as regular folks?
Yeah, I mean, in general, the Fed is intent on bringing inflation back down towards the 2% target. It feels very strong about this need to bring down inflation to prevent an erosion of household income, which would otherwise constrain consumer spending activity. So in doing so, the Fed is really focused right now on what's happening in the labor market and ensuring that wage growth moderates. Now, what we are seeing in the current environment is that we have a very tight labor market, that employers are keen on retaining talent, and that so far we have not seen a massive surge in layoffs outside of the tech sector. So the labor market is still resilient, and it's not showing the types of signs of a cooling that would indicate slower wage growth down the road, which is really what the Fed is keen on seeing.
Yeah, so there's another indicator of that, Gregory, because continuing unemployment benefits claims also fell last week. Those claims decreased to about 1.69 million for the week ending in December 24th, down from 1.72 million the week before. I'm wondering, for you, does that indicate that people are getting back into the workforce? Is it a sign of something else that's happening during the holidays? And how is all of this going to ultimately affect that core problem that the Fed has been trying to deal with, which is inflation?
I think what we're observing in terms of the labor market right now is that the value of talent has really increased post-pandemic. We are in a labor market, as I said, that's really tight, and where employers are very careful not to lay off the workforce that they've been training for the past couple of years. They want to avoid a situation where they would essentially end up with a workforce that's inadequate for any potential recovery in 6 months or 12 months down the road. So they are keen on looking first at reducing hiring rather than layoffs. They're also likely over the next few months going to be watching the cost of that labor via wages and benefits. That's one area where I would expect to see some pressure coming forward. And that's why we would expect to see wage growth gradually declining and putting downward pressure on inflation over the course of 23, which will likely satisfy the Fed and allow the Fed to slow the pace of monetary policy tightening.
And it's possible that just the economic uncertainty of it all will also have that effect on consumer buying and help to bring down inflation a little bit. Gregory Daco, thank you.
Thank you.